It's story time. That's right. Today, we're going to tell you a little story about Ajijic, Mexico. And today, we're coming to you, we want to talk to you a little bit about something that we've noticed about Ajijic, Mexico, and this area in general, Mexico in general. This is a very neighbors helping neighbors kind of environment.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to start off with a funny story. So literally like 2 days ago, we were in the house. Craig was in the bedroom and he was doing something in there, and he kept yelling at me to come back there. And so I would go back to the bedroom and he's like, "Do you hear that?" I'm like, "No, what do I hear?" And he was like, "I hear like someone's on the phone. They keep saying hello or something, but I can't figure out where it's coming from."
It was like someone in a box.
Going, yeah, he was like, is there someone at the front gate or something? So I went up to the front gate. There's no one out there. And I thought, well, maybe I'll go up onto our terrazza up on the top of the house. Maybe someone, on the street behind us or something is trying to get on the phone, or maybe the neighbors stuck on their terrazza and they're locked out of their house. Who knows, right? So I get up there and it's quiet. And so I start watering our plants, and I hear this, hello, just coming from the other side of the wall of our terrazza. Now, you have to understand, the walls on our terrazza are 7 feet high. Well, they're six.
They're my height.
Yeah, they're about 6 foot high. So it dawns on me that maybe on the other side of that wall is another one of those things that go all the way down to a courtyard like we have. And so I get a plastic chair, stand up in the chair, and drape my arm over the side of the wall. And she's like, "I see your arm." And I'm like, "Hello, are you okay?" And she goes, "I've locked myself into my courtyard and can't get back into my house. I need help."
And we can laugh because it's funny now, but
it's funny because I've done it.
Yeah, hot right now. I mean, hot. And those little courtyards heat up in the middle of the day. And so
when the sun's overhead, it's just shining right down.
She was down there for a few hours. I mean, it could be a health issue.
Yeah, so she yells at me and she says, "My husband's at Mel's. He's playing pickleball. And then I know he's probably going to get in the pool. And I know he's probably going to have a beer after that. And I'm just not going to be able to get a hold of him." She's like, "The front door of my house is open. Would you mind coming over here and letting me in?"
So we had to go to the gate, which it's like a little pocket neighborhood behind our house. So there's like a gate and a secured, thing there.
Yeah.
We had to go there and yell and be like, "Not the person in number such and such needs help. Can someone please let us in?"
And so the gatekeeper,
the person who lives at the first house,
right? So she's yelling. She yells out, and she lets us in, and we explain. So we go down there. We let this poor lady back into her house, and she was so thankful. I mean,
oh yeah.
It was funny, I mean, I'm never going to enter someone's house that I don't know, especially, without taking precautions. So I made Craig go with me, and I'm like, "You stand at the front door, and I'm going to go into the house. That way, in case there is anything nefarious going on, I can scream at you, and you can run and go get help."
Yeah.
Right? So, but it ended up being this really kind of a funny circumstance, but it's a good example of how neighbors are helping neighbors.
It really is.
Yeah.
And as crazy as that sounds, it is a real thing, and especially when you live in a community with condo type of buildings and townhouses, and you get trapped on your patio for a day. But there's a lot of other examples too that are a lot more in depth. We lived here for several months, and we ended up meeting some folks that were actually originally from a place that we were from, and it kind of bonded us, and we started building a friendship with them. Unfortunately, and I think we've told this story before, unfortunately, one of them developed some health problems, some very serious health problems. And they had to leave and go back to the United States for treatment because that's where their treatment was. In that process, it was like a week. And I mean, we're talking like one of them's in the States, the other one's got to get there.
And has to get rid of everything they own.
They had to liquidate everything that they owned, get rid of the rental property, plan for the travel, get their dogs taken care of, and all of those things. And so it was kind of put out into the LGBTQ community and the community at large that these people need help. And I have never in my life seen anything like it. Not only us, but other people just jumped right in, did anything they absolutely could. Helped organize a sale, started helping them get their car checked out, their plans situated for travel, like what routes to take, all of that.
I mean, literally everything was just whatever they needed. People were jumping in and helping take care of it. You know, like a week and a half later, he's on the road back to the States. And to continue with the story, make it short, he had a car accident on the way home. And the vehicle was totaled. And I called someone that I know here, that Craig and I know. We called them, and they were able to contact a friend of a friend, and that friend went and picked him up out in the middle of nowhere,
right,
and got him back to the border safely. So it's it's a really, really tight community, and when the chips were down, it really showed that the community will pull together and help people whenever they're really in need,
even to the level of life saving.
Yeah,
we've had several of those kind of experiences, and one of them we've mentioned before is that when we moved here, we didn't speak Spanish. We didn't realize that to set up Wi-Fi and your internet, you need to call the company and be able to speak Spanish. It's just something we take for granted in the United States, that you can press 2 for Spanish. Well, in Mexico, you don't always have the option to press 2 for English. So we were asking online, like, how do we take
through
care
social
of this?
media,
and a person here offered their help and ended up helping us and kind of 3-way calling with us and getting that set up. They had to vouch for us that we were a legitimate person, and we were able to get our internet set up because of that.
Yeah.
So
we, whenever we first moved here, before we even got here, we had met some people online, and they were so wonderful and helpful and giving us a lot of advice and talking to us about our unique situation and what they thought our needs might be here. They actually are the ones who found our rental property for us and did video walkthroughs of that property for us. When we got here, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and they met us out in the street with the keys to our rental union. The next morning, they picked us up and showed us how to use the bus system to get to the carniceria to get food, and stuff, and fill our fridge. There was beer and water sitting in our refrigerator at home that night when we got there.
Yeah.
They had taken the time to make sure that our move down here was going to be as easy and as comfortable as they could possibly make it.
Yes, and I mean, just ongoing, those people, particularly other people, have really stepped in and said, oh, you need a ride, you need to go to the doctor, we got you, we'll take you to the doctor.
Yeah.
You need a ride, oh, you want to go to this event, but you don't have a way to get there, we'll swing by and pick you up. So before we had a car, we were, there was a lot of people that would step in like that as well. In addition, when we moved here within the first week, every neighbor brought us cookies, offered us dinner, had us come over for dinner, brought us, my feet were hurting, somebody brought us a tub with some Epsom salts. Things like that. And then we have been blessed to be able to do that for other people.
Right.
When people need help, we go step in, like our friends that needed to move. And anytime somebody needs, like for dog sitting, we recently dog sat. We understand it's hard to find people.
I have a friend who just got kind of a promotion at work, and there's a situation where some of the furniture needs some work at their offices, and he's really trying to zhuzh it up. And so I've been going over and helping to sand furniture and stain furniture to help it look better. Yeah,
and that's a thing that'll last forever. If he decides to move on, that's going to be there at that organization for. It's a volunteer kind of a based organization.
Yeah, the whole point of it is really that it's not unique to here, but it is something that we've noticed very prevalent here in Ajijic, is people help each other out. People try to help better the community that we're living in.
It's very welcoming when it comes to the immigrant community because we've all been there. We all know how awkward it is to come to a new place, not know where to get anything. And so people volunteer their information, even if it's just information.
And it's not just the immigrant community either, though. The local Mexicans are very much involved, and you help each other out. I think it is very much a cultural thing here, and the immigrants are actually we're the ones who are picking that up.
Yes, we're kind of adopting that, or being very surprised by it.
Yeah.
Like, we would help somebody too, but it's also the willingness and the voluntary just stepping in and helping. It's it takes you back, and you're like, wait, you don't even know me.
It's a beautiful thing. It's an absolutely beautiful thing, and that's one of the huge reasons why we wanted to move here, and it's one of the things that makes this community truly remarkable.
Yeah, this is a great, close-knit community. Not only the expats and immigrants, the
locals,
the LGBTQ community is extremely tight. Make sure that people feel welcome. There's a bar here that when you walk into the bar, the bartender, oh, you're new here? Let me introduce you to my friends. And she takes you over, makes introductions to everyone in the bar, and they kind of just adopt you immediately for that moment. And it's beautiful. You don't feel so alone.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. So come down here,
Yeah.
experience the sense of community and neighbors helping neighbors.
It's a beautiful thing. And if you haven't already,
go find your truly remarkable life.
okay, I think we're good. Let me just get you situated.
You got to turn off the fan so it's not competing with my voice.
Do I have to?
Yes.
And so
I know. It's also blowing my little tassels around.
That'll
Like
get
a
more
strip
viewers.
club.
That'll get more viewers.
We want to give a shout out to Ajijic for providing this amazing, beautiful backdrop.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous.